next little class is all about smudging. The reason why I chose to do this one as a free class was to help as many of you as possible in a time where you probably need smudge more than ever before. All right, and to know how to, my God, what's going on? To know how, I think people are dipping in and out on their internets, and to know how to do it and how to do it right is, in my opinion, key. And we need to do things properly. And then if you can do smudging, then you are powering yourself up against negativity. Now, the reason why I felt the timing was right to do this one right now is because obviously we're still in that dreaded word of lockdown. I think we're going to be here for a little while yet, personally, but who knows? You see so many mixed reports these days, don't you? So I've stopped reading them. But I do believe that we will be in lockdown for a little bit longer. And I also believe that we have got, you know, we're becoming much more sensitive. We're much more aware of energies. And that is the good, the bad, and the ugly energies. We are so aware of all energy. And a lot of that energy, we think that we are sat at home, safe, secure, behind our closed doors. But in reality, we are still open to energies, other people's energies, global energies. Energy passes through walls. Unless we put protective layers in, it passes through walls, it passes through TV, it passes through radio, you name it. The energy, the feeling, the vibration, the negativity, and the anxiety can impact you. So when we talk about smudging, it's not necessarily all about getting rid of entities, which a lot of people associate it with. It's actually more important to be getting rid of negative energy, because that negative energy will affect your mood, it will affect your sleep, it will affect how you see this world, and it may not even be yours. It's just that you are absorbing other people's. So that is why we sage, and we sage quite regularly as well. Now, there are different types of sage. So I'm still letting people in. But there are different types of sage. So I'm just going to run through those with you as well. So the first one is what we call the most common one, probably the most common one you know, which is white sage. I will be using mine tonight. All right, white sage. Now, one of the other ways that you can use it, that is what's called a sage stick. It's like a bundle of dried leaves, if I describe it as that to you. You can also buy, and they're perfectly okay to use as well. I would use the smudge stick if you need to blast the place. If you're just doing a maintenance smudge, as I call it, then you can buy incense sticks of white sage. You can also buy cones. I don't have any with me at the moment. I've been using the sticks and sage sticks. So, but you can get little cones as well that you would light. All right, now white sage is the most common one, the most popular one, probably the most easiest to get hold of as well. You can pick that up. Sometimes I have some. We've got Dave who runs, I think it's called Mystics and Magic, something like that. He has a shop, and I always refer people to him. He's fabulous to buy stuff from. But alternatively, you can go on eBay and have a look, or any crystal shops when they all reopen and things like that. Places like that tend to stock them. Okay, you can also grow your own, of course, and hang it to dry it. That is doable as well. So sage has the properties of removing negativity, negative energy. So it's a cleanser, and it also works as a protector. The good thing about sage is that sage smoke is actually a good thing to breathe in, and it also has antibacterial I think that's the right word, qualities about it as well. So you are not just cleaning energetically, you will actually be cleaning the air in your property as well. Okay, so it has many reasons to use it. It's the least one that people have a reaction to, but we joke if someone has a reaction to it, then the odds are that they're carrying a lot of negative, or maybe that's the negative thing in your house you need to get rid of. But sometimes we can't get rid of them. But just to make you aware of that. All right. Now, another sage is called blue sage. It used to be known as grandmother's sage as well. This, I don't have any of that here this evening, but it is a purifying herb. And it's got very strong medicinal purposes. It's used to give you spiritual strength, and it's sometimes used to remove what we'd call negative spirits, negative entities as well. Sometimes known as azure sage, sometimes known as pitcher sage. Now, another one, let's let someone else in. Another one is dragon's blood. Now, I use this as an incense as an incense stick. All right. Dragon's blood is actually a resin. We don't have secretly. We don't have secretly a field with dragons on IV or whatever you would call it to blood transfusions. It is actually a resin out of a tree that is red and looks like, therefore, like blood. So I literally, for me personally, I use the incense sticks, and I buy them where they have the white sage and the dragon's blood in them. All right, so do have some of those, or Dave, get in touch with Dave, or again, you could look on eBay, probably Amazon as well, to be fair. But this is one that I use a lot. Now, dragon's blood, I say, it is a resin. It removes negativity from the space. It then has that smudge impact because it's usually blended with white sage. So it has a double whammy of the white sage as well. And what it also does is it puts in a protective layer. So if you are sat somewhere feeling under psychic attack, yeah, then this is what you would be using, because it puts in a protective layer around you, around your home, around your space, to bounce out that negative energy, that negative thinking of other people. All right, so just, it is a good one to have in your spiritual medicine cabinet. This is one that I would have. Okay, it, as I say, it is about, it embraces health, the same as all of them. I don't know why, but random fact is it's supposed to cure impotence. Now, if anyone wants to get back to me and let me know if there's any truth in that, drop me a message and let me know. I don't have anybody I could try that on. Even under the name of market research. So let me know on that one, ladies and gents who are watching. But yeah, I like the dragon's blood one. I love the smell of it. You will often smell it when you're walking into shops and crystal shops and things. You will smell this one as well. Now, another one is black sage. I ordered some of that today because I've now run out. Otherwise known as mugwort. This is the one that is used to protect against what we'd class as evil spirits. It also can be used to aid you if you are someone who does astral traveling, or someone who does a lot of dream communication. It can kind of add to that experience, but it also, the good thing about it is that it protects you when you're in that experience as well. So it can be used if you're struggling with fatigue. It can be used for that, to clear that energy out of you and your environment. And also it helps with divination and things like that. And then the last one, which you will also see, is sweetgrass, Native American herb. Sometimes they burn it. It's about blessings. So if you are moving into a new home, you would cleanse that home, or where I would use the white sage to get rid of the previous occupant's energy. If it is, even if it is a new build, I would still smudge it to get rid of the energy of all those moaning builders, because God knows builders don't half moan. Yeah, and I would shift their energy, and then we would use the sweetgrass. We would then burn and smudge again with the sweetgrass, and that would be done to bless the house. You could use it on business premises or whatever, but it's about bringing in a blessing. So it's actually not so much, it's not about shifting negativity. It's actually about attracting positivity, which is again why I thought at the times we are in, I will share that with you this evening. So are you, yes, you can get white sage essential oils as well. Oh, Aisha's audios, sorry. You can all hear me fine, can't you? Yeah, sorry, Aisha. But yeah, so it's a good thing to use. It's something to always have knocking about. How you will know when you need to do it, when you need to use it, is if you are feeling what we call out of sorts. If you're feeling tired, distracted, if you've got sleep issues, if you are feeling like you're being watched or feeling like you're not alone with sometimes that is an experience that people have. If you just feel really negative and you don't know why, or there's no real justification for it, then again, I would smudge. If you have been through some hard stuff, emotionally, mentally, and you have been sitting in your home, processing, reflecting, thinking, all of these things, that can be you producing negative energy as well. So sometimes it is us that we need to smudge and our environment because we've sat there. You know, if someone suffers with depression and they constantly sit in the same chair, they will build up an energy of depression. Does that make sense? So that area needs to be cleared, needs to be smudged and cleansed, because, you know, it's like when I'm teaching meditation, people always find it easy. And back in the good old days when you could come to me and sit in a meditation class, thinking of starting one up under the pretense of a support group for meditation people. I can get away with 15 at that, apparently. But back in that day, people could meditate much easier with me because my rooms were always used for meditation and spiritual purposes. So when they came, they plugged in. Make sense? So it's exactly the same on the negative end of the spectrum, that if you go into a room where someone sits depressed all the time, or it may even be yourself, you're going to plug back into that emotional state and that energy state. Does that make sense? Yeah? Good. So that is why we need to smudge. All right, it is really important. I would put it into your schedule almost as part of your housekeeping. We call it spiritual housekeeping, and to get into a routine of doing that. So any questions about what we've talked about so far? Hit the space bar if you'd like to ask me a question. Yes, Trace?
How often would you recommend doing the spiritual cleansing on the home then? Once a month or once?
I would absolutely say once a month. If you're going through stuff or you're feeling impacted by negative energies, if there's stuff going on, maybe psychic attack or whatever, when things are really heavy, I do it twice a day. Yeah, just in the evenings, because your energy level drops. Do it in the evening, but also do it in the daytime as well.
Okay, so would that be the whole of the house or just the area I'm in?
If you feel it's about you, as in directed at you or coming through you, then just the area that you are in is enough. But I would still say blast your entire house
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, periodically as well. Any more questions at this point?
Yes, Sam.
Yes, Jacob.
Are you going to be covering smudging tarot cards as well in this session or not?
I can do. Yeah, I can do that for you.
That would be good. Thank you.
That's
That would be good.
No, not a problem at all. So, any other questions, lovelies?
Yeah, me.
Kerry. Hi, Kerry. I can see you. I'm trying not to put my old lady glasses on.
Right. What I wanted to know was, obviously, I am completely new. So what I'm, what I'm learning from you is absolute gold dust. And I'm like, this is great. I want to learn more.
Yeah.
But obviously, I haven't had, because I literally found you this afternoon. So I've literally just signed up. So
Yeah.
I want to know, do you sell the smudging sticks? And if you don't, oh, you do?
Yeah. If you drop me a message, I can sort that out for you, and I can point you in the right direction. I'll point you to David as well, who the reason why I use him as an approved provider is because I've ordered through him. And I know he's really reliable and he's not ridiculously priced, etc., etc. I just know he's good as gold. One of my diamonds. All right, Kerry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that when I've bought my crystals, I know that if you don't buy them from somewhere, I don't want to say proper, but you know what I mean. If you just buy it off Amazon, there's no energy in it. There's no, if I have a better word, there's no love. And that's what you want, is you want the love, you want the energy, you want it to be pure. So that's why I'm sorry.
Yeah, so again, you would, if you're buying crystals that way, because especially with the times that we're in, you would smudge the crystals exactly the same, and then just hold them and feel that love and put that love into those crystals.
Yeah, because I don't buy crap. Excuse my language. That's basically it. I want to buy something that's authentic. That's
yeah. So definitely, I'll definitely point you in David's direction.
Excellent.
All right, lovely. I can't think where he is. I want to say Eastbourne, but I don't know if that's right. He's got a shop in. I swear it's Eastbourne. A shop
in Claxton.
He's where?
Myths and Magic in Claxton.
Myths and Magic in Clacton. There you go. Yvonne's my PA. Not that she knows it. Right then. So, lighting sage. Now, sometimes sage doesn't want to know. It doesn't want to light. And that tends to be when there's not too much of an issue. Now, let's hope I don't gas myself to death like I did one night on doing this. So what you would do is, and you need to put it over a plate, over a metal tray, over something, okay? Because it will drop bits off and you will burn your carpet, your bedding, or whatever, okay? Now, when we light sage, we're not after the flame, we're actually after the smoke. Yeah? So we're after the smoke. And you just move it. Can you see how you move it to get the air to pass through it, to get that smoke to come out of the smudge? You see that? That is what we're looking for. Okay. Now, with regards to tarot cards, is he still here? Oh, yeah, there you are, Jacob. With regards to tarot cards, you literally fan your cards out and you move them through that smoke now like this.
Right, so you could do that with an incense stick as well, could you?
Yeah, you could, as long as you're doing it enough.
Okay.
Obviously, this is a stronger way of smudging, which is why I say if your starting point with anything is to use a smudge stick because of the intensity of it. But then you could do what I call like your general clean. Call that your deep clean. And then the incense sticks would be your general clean. Yeah, your top up clean, whatever you want to call that, surface clean. Yeah, not your deep clean. And then we can waft it as well. Can you actually see this on camera? I don't know, but you can waft it. Can you see it going? Yeah, I think it's trying to take me out of the picture. I'm just going to sit and breathe it in for a minute. Right. Right then. So that is how you light sage. All right. And you're going to need to carry it around your property, as I say, with a plate or something underneath. I don't want you all messaging me because you've set fire to your carpets. All right.
Sam,
Yes.
can you ask Kath to mute her mic, please? Because it's an awful lot of noises coming through from her.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know why she's not muted. I thought I'd muted everyone. There we go. No, she's muted. But yeah, so that is what you need to do. This is your kit, basically. I would say to you, keep your lighter in your back pocket for as you walk around, because sometimes these things can go out. All right, but that is basically your toolkit for smudging. Okay. So how to...
Sorry, Sam, they use it in churches as well, don't they?
Oh yeah, you know, you see them
Yeah.
swinging. I don't go to church enough to know what they're called. Sorry, lovelies. They swing those things.
Thurifa.
Pardon?
It's a thurifa.
There you go. I won't even attempt to say that. That's the word. One of them. That's what you see. They burn them in the churches as well. All right. So that is how we start to the process of lighting the sage. It's very important. The reason I wanted to do this, people always ask me, is there a right or a wrong way to smudge a house? And actually there is. Okay. So you would stand at your front, in your mind, you need to stand at your front door, looking into your house, not out of your house. And you need to look at the top left corner of the property upstairs. All right, that is where you're going to start. I'm actually eating smudge here. That is where you're going. They're determined. That is where you're going to start. All right. We light the smudge and we walk around the room in an anti-clockwise direction. And it is key to go anti-clockwise. It's really important that you do that. We do that as healers as well. We cleanse by going anti-clockwise in chakras. It's exactly the same with the house. All right, when you're smudging. And then we walk around, we will then continue to walk around the rooms of the house in an anti-clockwise direction as well. Does that make sense what I mean? If we were looking on a floor plan, we'd go anti-clockwise around the rooms as well. Now, as you are doing this, like anything spiritual, it is about intention. And it is about setting the intention as you go. So what you are going to be saying out loud, if you're confident enough to, or in your head, you will be saying as you're lighting it and you're moving it around, you're going to say, I now clear all residual negative energy and entities from this home. So I'm going to say that a few times for you, lovely, so you can write it down. I now clear all residual negative energy and entities from this home. And if you feel you're under attack, you would say, you would include and psychic attack. The energies of psychic attack, yeah? So I now clear all residual negative energy, the energy of psychic attack and entities from this home. Have you all got that? Yeah. Now, as you go around, there is a difference, a big difference between smudging and removing negative energy and smudging and removing an entity. All right. Now, I'm not religious. I'm faith-based. My faith is in the universe and in the divine. I'm not religious. All right. However, you will hear me so often say the Lord's Prayer I could probably convince your great granny that I'm a woman of faith and church. All right. So, and you will hear me saying that the Lord's Prayer, the reason we use the Lord's Prayer is because it is the most powerful mantra in the world. So how you need to look at it is when you say the Lord's Prayer, you don't just have your energy saying those words. You have the energy of all the people of all the lifetimes before you who have said those words as well. So I say the Lord's Prayer is the most powerful mantra that you can say. Now, when you are clearing a space, if you are doing it because you feel like there is something there, yeah, and you understand what I mean by that, don't you? Yeah, you know that feeling, that awareness. What you need to do is, in addition to saying I now clear all residual negative energy and entities from this home, you then also, if that is the case, you need to say the Lord's Prayer. Now, what can happen is you can get 3 lines into it and you can't remember it. And we all know the Lord's Prayer, don't we? I think we pretty much all know the Lord's Prayer. If you then can't say the Lord's Prayer, if you are forgetting it, you need to go back to the beginning. Yeah, back to the beginning and start the Lord's Prayer again. And you need to push through. That is something trying to stop you from clearing. So I now clear all residual energies, all residual negative energies and entities from this home, is what you should be saying, Emma. All right, lovely. And as I say, if you are doing it because you feel there is a presence in the house, in the property, saying the Lord's Prayer will show you, but it will also push that out. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. So you would be saying that and you go round the room, and when you can say the Lord's Prayer fully, it's gone. Yeah, with no issues, no forgetfulness, when you know every word and you can just say it, rattle it off, then it's gone. All right. But what is key is that you are removing the residual negative energy. So you start the top left, you're going to go anti-clockwise around that room. Do all your nooks and crannies, lovelies. Yeah. So if you've got an ensuite bathroom, for example, yeah, do inside the ensuite as well, not just the bedroom, do the ensuite as well. If you've got alcoves in a property, yeah, I'm trying to think how to describe one, I don't have one. If you've got an alcove in a property, energy will collect in there and gather. So make sure you are going into all those nooks and crannies. For example, in my lounge, they have taken out the cupboard from under the stairs. So I've got that area that you have underneath. So that is an area to smudge because energy can collect under there. You understand? All right. So you're going to start, as I say, start top left, anti-clockwise around each room, moving around the whole of the upstairs in that anti-clockwise direction. You're then going to walk down your stairs, saying it as well. Yeah. And then again, you would go to the top, sorry, the bottom left, as it were, of the property now. You understand? So whatever room is underneath where you started. Makes sense? So again, you're still at the front door, but now you're on the ground floor and you're going to go to the left corner. Does that make sense? Yeah. And you're going to walk again anti-clockwise, doing exactly the same in all of the rooms as you go round the house. And then what you need to do is you then need to smudge yourself as well, like you saw me. It's out now, so I won't set fire to it. So you're going to put it round your head predominantly, yeah, because of that's your spiritual chakras, and you're going to put it up and down your spine and up and down your front. Secretly smudge your husband or whoever you need to that day, yeah, the dog. And then what you need to do is open all the doors and all the windows of your property for that smoke, as it were, to leave the house. There's no point holding on to that smoke, that negative energy that's now contained in any smoke in your home. Make sense? All right, we need to get it out. So if it's a windy day, brilliant day to do it, because it's not going to take long to shift that. All right, but know that this is the process, this is the right way to smudge a property. So I say it could be your home, it could be business premises, I don't know, a garage, it could be anything. It could be anything, but this is the way that we do it, because what you're basically doing is you're bringing the energy down. If I could get you to climb up into your loft space, I would get you to do it, but I think that's a bit too risky. But we are bringing that energy down. Then we are opening it for it to leave the property. What I then like to do is burn a white candle.